Imagine you're applying for your dream home. You've done everything right. Great credit score, stable income, years of diligent saving. You send off the application and wait. But the denial comes back fast. Why? Not because of your finances. It's because an algorithm decided something about you. The neighborhood you grew up in, how you filled out the form, maybe even your name, flagged you as a risk. This isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie. It's a reality unfolding right now on servers all over the world. We're increasingly told that artificial intelligence will be our unbiased guide, a new moral North Star, to lead us to a fairer, more efficient future. We're handing over our trust with our jobs, our safety, and our privacy. But when these complex systems are found denying loans based on race, and when self-driving cars are programmed with split-second calculations that have life or death consequences, we start to see the dark side of our new digital compass. What happens when that star leads us astray? At its core, the promise of AI is objectivity. A machine, free from human feelings and prejudice, should be the ultimate fair judge. The financial world bought into this big time, putting AI in charge of loan and mortgage approvals to get rid of human bias. But instead of a utopia of fairness, these systems accidentally created a new kind of discrimination: digital redlining. Recent research shows that AI lending algorithms can end up copying the very same discriminatory practices they were meant to stop. For instance, a 2024 study from Lehigh University found that major AI models consistently suggested denying more loans and charging higher interest rates to Black and Hispanic applicants compared to white applicants with the exact same financial profiles. In one model they tested, Black applicants needed a credit score roughly 120 points higher than white applicants just to get the same approval rate. Another analysis of mortgage data found that lenders were 80% more likely to reject Black applicants than similar white applicants. The problem isn't that someone programmed the AI to be racist. The problem is that the AI learned from us. These systems are trained on mountains of historical lending data, which is soaked in decades of human bias and systemic inequality. The AI just becomes a mirror reflecting our own flawed history back at us, and worse, amplifying it at a massive scale. And it's not just about loans. It's happening in hiring, too. A large majority of companies, around 87%, now use AI in their recruitment process. Yet a 2024 University of Washington study found these tools can have staggering biases. When researchers tested leading AI models by changing only the names on identical resumes, the systems favored names perceived as white 85% of the time over those perceived as Black. The systems often use proxies, like zip codes or the names of certain schools, that correlate with race and socioeconomic status, effectively building discrimination right into their code. Many of these AIs are what experts call a black box. Their inner workings are so complex that even their creators can't fully explain how they reach a particular conclusion. So when you're denied that job or loan, you're often left with no clear reason and no one to appeal to. You're just facing the cold, silent judgment of an algorithm. This lack of transparency and accountability is one of the biggest ethical challenges we're facing. If AI struggles with the ethics of a loan application, what happens when the stakes are literally life and death? This question brings us to the second great ethical puzzle: the autonomous vehicle. For years, the debate was framed by a thought experiment you've probably heard of: the trolley problem. A self-driving car's brakes fail. It can either continue straight and hit 5 pedestrians or swerve and hit one person on the sidewalk. What should it be programmed to do? It's a grim but fascinating puzzle. But engineers and ethicists working on real autonomous vehicles say it's a dangerous oversimplification. Real-world driving isn't a simple binary choice. It's a constant stream of thousands of probability-based decisions every single second. The goal of AV designers isn't to choose who to hit, but to program the vehicle with a relentless focus on avoiding collisions altogether and a duty of care to everyone on the road. The true ethical dilemma isn't about one dramatic moral choice, but about navigating a world of immense uncertainty. Accidents will still happen, often due to things outside the AI's control. Another driver's mistake, a sudden mechanical failure, or bad weather. When they do, who's responsible? The owner who switched the car to autonomous mode? The manufacturer who coded the software? The company that made the sensor that failed? This moves the ethical weight from a single moment of crisis to the entire system of design, regulation, and oversight. We're not just programming a car, we're designing a system of accountability. Some studies have already shown that AI systems can be less effective at detecting pedestrians with darker skin tones if their training data wasn't diverse enough, creating an immediate and dangerous bias. The moral compass here isn't about a single decision, but about making sure the system is built on a foundation of fairness and safety for everyone, a challenge that goes way beyond a simple thought experiment. These ethical problems, in our finances and on our roads, all point to a deeper issue. For an AI to do its job, whether it's approving a loan or driving a car, it needs one thing above all else: data. Unimaginable amounts of it. And our willingness to hand over this data is creating the third great ethical minefield: the erosion of privacy. Every time we use a smart device, search for something online, upload a photo, or walk down a street with surveillance cameras, we create a data point. AI-driven systems are constantly collecting and analyzing this information. While regulations like the EU's GDPR require some form of user consent, the process can be so opaque that many of us aren't fully aware of what we're agreeing to. This data is the fuel for the AI revolution, but the price is a world of surveillance we've never seen before. This isn't just about getting targeted ads. It's about law enforcement using facial recognition that has questionable accuracy and governments deploying AI for mass surveillance with very little transparency. In the UK, the Department for Work and Pensions used an AI system to detect welfare fraud that was later found to have a statistically significant bias, disproportionately flagging people for investigation based on their age, disability, and nationality. We're in a constant trade-off. We get personalized recommendations and efficient services, but in return, we give up a piece of our autonomy and privacy. The trouble is our laws are struggling to keep up. Regulations like the EU's GDPR and its new AI Act are trying to draw a line in the sand, but the technology is moving at a dizzying pace. The AI systems we interact with are getting more and more woven into our lives, making decisions that affect our basic rights, while the rules that govern them are still being written. So, if AI isn't the perfect moral guide we were promised, what do? Do we just give up on it? The answer isn't to reject the technology, but to reshape it. The future of AI isn't set in stone, and we have a critical part to play in steering its course. First, we have to fix the root of the problem: the data. The old saying, garbage in, garbage out, has never been more true. To build fairer AI, we need to train it on diverse, representative, and carefully checked data sets. This also means building more diverse teams. Engineers, ethicists, and sociologists from different backgrounds who can spot and challenge the unconscious biases that get baked into these systems. Second, we must demand transparency. The black box has to be opened. In high-stakes areas like finance, hiring, and justice, we need rules that force AI systems to be explainable and auditable. When an AI makes a decision that changes someone's life, we have a right to know why. You should be able to ask for a human review to make sure the decision is fair and correct. Third, we have to insist on human oversight. AI should be a powerful tool to help humans make decisions, not replace them entirely. Especially in morally tricky fields, the final call should rest with a person who can be held accountable. This approach empowers us and makes sure that technology serves humanity, not the other way around. Finally, this calls for a global conversation. We need strong public dialogue and smarter, more agile regulations that can keep up with innovation. Countries and international bodies are starting to work together on these issues, creating frameworks to manage the risks of powerful AI. But these efforts will only work if the public gets involved and applies pressure. We're standing at a crossroads. Artificial intelligence isn't some outside force acting on us. It's a reflection of us. It holds a mirror up to our society, magnifying not just our creativity and potential, but also our deepest biases and ethical blind spots. It isn't a North Star, fixed and true. It is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends entirely on who is wielding it. The future of AI is not something that will happen to us. It is something we will create, either through thoughtful, deliberate action or through our own indifference. What are your biggest concerns about AI's role in our lives? Do you think we can build a truly ethical AI? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start the conversation. And if you found this insightful, please subscribe and share it to help others understand the critical choices we face.